Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today's tool review is a product from GearWrench. I think it's the first time I've had them on the channel. I don't have a lot of their tools. I picked up this set for a particular reason, and I'll share with you why that is here in a minute, because there's a difference between this and any other extractor set that I have. And what this is it's an 8-piece metric and SAE 1/4 inch and 3/8 drive. It's called the Bolt Biter Impact Socket Set. And it's basically your, damaged bolt extractor set. You probably have a set of these laying around of different sizes. Here's an Irwin set that I've had previously. I keep this one in my truck. However, I am going to be swapping that out with this one. This one's kind of been staying in my garage because typically that's when I would run into something like this. But this is essentially an 8-piece set, metric and standard. You can see like 11 and 7/16. This is split sizes. Some of them are only metric. Some of them are both metric and standard. They fit on certain things. And it's the 1/4 inch drive on the smaller sizes, 3/8 on the bigger. They have multiple sets of these. They have some that's just metric, some that's just standard, some that's more sizes, all sorts of things. Again, I'll put links in the descriptions for these below. But essentially, these are no different really as far as extraction wise than any of the other sets that you've got. But there's one big difference between the two, and that's whenever you start to look into the flute of it, is that your teeth go in both directions. I'm going to see if I can get a light on this so that maybe you can possibly see it, but it's going to be hard for you to tell it, but I'm going to show it to you in action. You can see there that you kind of got the teeth are kind of just straight. They're not at an angle going in one direction, because this is made to not only extract a damaged screw, but you can put that back in as well. Versus if you look at this Irwin, if you can see it, you can see those grooves go like in a direction. Because that's basically, it's wanting to grab whatever that fastener is, pull that bolt out, but then you wouldn't be able to put it back in. And that can be a problem sometimes if you don't have the fastener to replace it with. And if you're working on your vehicle and you need to go to the store, that might be an issue. So as far as getting them out, these two work pretty much identical, but you can also get one and put one back in with this, and that's the big difference. And I'm going to show you that here. All right, guys, so I took a 13mm lag bolt. You can see how that fits in my impact socket in my 3/8 stubby. I ground it down with my grinder just enough that I could still put it into this wood. I stacked 3 2x4s on top of each other, but I wanted it to round off as I was putting it in, and this is the point in which I got to as far as using my stubby. That's as far as it went before the head got round off. You can see here if I put this in forward or reverse, I can't get anything else on it. So that's where I'm at with the stubby. I can also take this 13mm socket. I can't get anything either direction on that as well. And just to prove to you that it is a 13mm and not that it should be something smaller, maybe I've got too big of a socket on it. Here's 12 next size down, and it is too small. So basically I've got a 13mm that's rounded off. Now let me show you the difference between the Irwin, which is just an extractor, versus the GearWrench, which can also put back in damaged fasteners. So there's the 1/2 inch on this Irwin. This is the 1/2 inch /13 combination. That's what they have here. Very hard to see. I don't know if I can get you to see that. It's hard to see in real life in person. That's a difference between the GearWrench as well. You can see that 13 all the way from here. Looks nice. And again, the Irwin on this size is a metric /standard. So the GearWrench there, some of theirs are labeled metric /standard. They're the same size, just like what these are. The 13 is specifically a 13. Now, if I put this in reverse, you can see that this one will work good. Hopefully you can see that backing out. If you look at that head real close, you can see that, but you can tell by my ratchet that I am turning that. So this does work well as far as for extracting. This Irwin works just fine for that. But now let me put it in forward, and you'll see I'm not going to get any kind of a bite. It's just skipping right over top of it. If this was down on there, it would be doing the same thing as my impact and just spinning. So again, this is just a damaged extractor. Will not put it back in. All these are just turned in one direction. They're meant to remove something and not put something back. And you might be thinking, well, why would I need to put it back? It's damaged. I don't want to put something that's damaged back in. But again, what if I'm at my house working on my truck? I've got a damaged fastener of some kind, damaged bolt that I take out, and then the only way for me to get to the store to get whatever that bolt is to replace it is for me to put my truck back together. I might need to put this back in temporarily until I can go get that part and swap it out. So here, let me show you the difference between the GearWrench. I put it in reverse, does the same thing. It's backing that out just fine. But now let me put it in forward. It's also able to put that fastener back in, and I can put it back in completely. So you can see I got that fastened all the way down as tight as it would go, so I could get that back in, get me to where I need to go to get a replacement for this if I needed to in a certain situation. So I think that's an advantage to these GearWrenches versus some of the other ones that I've had. Again, this one works well for extracting, but why not get one where I can do both? I can put that damaged fastener back in a pinch if I need to. Again, I would suggest if you have a damaged fastener and you can replace it, always replace it. But sometimes you might not have that option. It's also impact rated, so here's my stubby again with that 13. Not getting anything. Put on the 13 GearWrench. So yeah, guys, that's the GearWrench bolt biter impact socket set. Again, this one's the 8-piece set. It's got metric and standard sizes, some 1/4-inch drive, some 3/8 drive. I'll put a link in the description for these. Also, in that same link, they kind of have them to where you select variations within that one link. They have some that are just metric, some that are just standard. They have some that have more pieces, more sizes. They even have a set that's just a 1/4-inch drive as far as the kind that you would put in your regular impact. Not a 1/4-inch like impact driver like this, but one like a Surge or, you know, your regular type impact. They have a set like that too. So I think, again, the big difference is you can put a damaged fastener back in, which again is not something typically you're going to want to do if you have the option of putting in something new. But every now and then, who knows? You might run into something where you don't have a fastener to put back in, and you've got to put that damaged one back in temporarily until you can get that replaced. And for that reason, I think that these are worth it. I've had pretty good luck with these so far. Haven't used them extensively because I don't run into a damaged bolt every day. But the times that I've used them, it's worked like a charm every time. I highly recommend them. But let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Let me know if you have them. Also, if you've got another set, if you know of another set out there that does the forward and reverse as well, and not just the reverse like most of them do, let us know that in the comments below too, as long as it's working well for you, and give us that information. That's always useful for us to know what all other tools might be out there that we can check out. But I just wanted to share these with you guys. They've worked well for me. Maybe something you want to look into. Hope it was useful. Hope you stay safe. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.